What if I told you Mars isn't as dry as we thought? Shocking, right? But it's true. There's water hiding under its icy surface, and it's got scientists super excited. Why? Because where there's water, there might be life. But hold on a second, how can water exist on such a cold planet? And what does this mean for future Mars missions? Get ready for a wild ride as we uncover the truth about Mars' watery secret. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, your name. Haven't we always thought of Mars as this red, dusty, bone-dry planet? And you'd be right, that's been the common view for a long time. But science is all about challenging what we think we know, and boy, has Mars challenged us. Let's back up a bit and talk about why finding water on Mars is such a big deal. You see, water isn't just something we drink to quench our thirst. It's super important for life as we know it. Every living thing on Earth, from the tiniest bacteria to the biggest blue whale, needs water to survive. It's like the magic ingredient for life. So, when scientists find water anywhere in space, they get really excited. It's like finding a clue in a cosmic treasure hunt for life beyond Earth. And Mars? Well, it's been our prime suspect for a while now. But here's the thing, Mars is cold. Like, really cold. The average temperature is about 63 C 81 F, and it can drop to a teeth-chattering 140 C to 20 F at the poles. Brr. At those temperatures, water should be frozen solid, right? So how can there be liquid water? Well, that's where things get really interesting. In 2018, a team of Italian scientists made a mind-blowing announcement. Using a special radar on a spacecraft orbiting Mars, they found evidence of a huge underground lake near the south pole of Mars. We're talking about a lake about 20 kilometers wide, hiding under a thick layer of ice. Now, you might be wondering, how did they find a lake they can't even see? Great question. They used a clever device called Mars Advanced Radar for subsurface and ionosphere sounding. It's like a super-powered radar that can peek under the surface of Mars. It sends radio waves that bounce back differently depending on what they hit. And when they looked at the data, they saw something that looked just like a big pool of liquid water. But remember those super cold temperatures we talked about? That's where the mystery deepens. How can this water stay liquid when it's so cold? Scientists think there are a few tricks at play. Pressure, the weight of all that ice on top, pushes down on the water, making it harder to freeze. Super salty, the water is probably super salty, like a natural antifreeze. A bit of warmth from below, there might be some heat left over from when Mars was formed, keeping things a tiny bit warmer underground. It's like nature's own recipe for keeping water liquid in the most unlikely place. Now, this underground lake isn't the only hint of water we've found on Mars. Over the years, different Mars missions have given us other clues. Ice caps. Mars has ice caps at its poles, just like Earth. They're mostly water ice with some dry ice, frozen carbon dioxide mixed in. Weird streaks. Sometimes, dark streaks appear on Martian hills during warm seasons. Some scientists think these might be caused by salty water flowing down the slopes. Old riverbeds. Mars has marks on its surface that look a lot like dried-up rivers and lakes. This tells us that a long time ago, Mars might have had lots of water on its surface. Ice just below the ground. One of NASA's landers found ice just under the surface in the northern parts of Mars. All of these clues paint a picture of Mars as a planet with a complicated water story. It might have been much wetter in the past, and now it's hiding its water underground and in its ice caps. But let's get to the really exciting part. Could there be life in these underground Martian waters? The honest answer is, we don't know. But finding liquid water makes it a real possibility. Here on Earth, we find life in some pretty crazy places at the bottom of the ocean, in super hot springs, and even in lakes trapped under ice in Antarctica. These tough little organisms show us that life can survive in conditions we once thought were impossible. If there is life in Mars' underground lakes, it would probably be tiny, think bacteria, not little green Martians. But even finding the simplest forms of life on another planet would be huge news. It's important to remember, though, that just having water doesn't guarantee life. There are other things life needs, like energy sources and the right chemical ingredients. But water is a great start. Now, as cool as this discovery is, it also creates some big challenges. These underground lakes are really hard to reach. They're buried under more than a kilometer of ice. That's like trying to drill through an ice cube the size of a skyscraper. But don't worry, space fans. Scientists aren't giving up that easily. They're already planning new missions to learn more about these watery mysteries on Mars. One cool idea is to use cryobots, special robots designed to melt through ice and explore what's underneath. Imagine a tiny submarine sending back information from an alien underground lake. How awesome would that be? Scientists are also working on better ways to detect and study underground water from orbit. The more we can learn without having to drill through all that ice, the better. So, why does all this matter? Why should we care about some hidden water on a planet millions of miles away? First, understanding Mars' water helps us understand how the planet changed over time. Mars and Earth formed around the same time and started out pretty similar. By studying Mars, we can learn more about our own planet's history and maybe even its future. Second, if we ever want to send humans to Mars, and lots of people are working hard to make that happen, knowing where to find water will be super important. Water isn't just for drinking, it can be turned into oxygen for breathing and hydrogen for fuel. Lastly, looking for water on Mars is part of a bigger question. Are we alone in the universe? Is Earth special, or is life common out there in space? Every discovery, every piece of information brings us one step closer to answering these big questions. So there you have it, folks, the incredible story of liquid water hiding under the ice on Mars. From the shocking discovery to the ongoing search for answers, it shows just how amazing and surprising our universe can be. As we've seen, Mars isn't just a boring, dry world. It's a planet full of secrets, of icy mysteries, and of exciting possibilities. Who knows what other surprises the red planet has in store for us? The next time you look up at the night sky and see that reddish dot, remember, there's more to Mars than meets the eye. Under its dusty surface and icy poles, ancient waters might still be flowing, holding clues to some of the biggest mysteries in our solar system. This is Dream Trips from Cosmic Wonders, reminding you that the universe is full of surprises, and the greatest discoveries might be hiding just out of sight. Keep asking questions, keep wondering, and keep looking up at the stars. Until next time, stay curious. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to catch all our latest space adventures. And hey, let us know in the comments, if you could send a message to potential Martian microbes, what would you say? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of Cosmic Wonders. And hey, while we're dreaming big about Mars, let's not forget that this is just the beginning. Our solar system is full of icy moons and distant planets that might be hiding their own watery secrets. From the underground oceans of Europa to the methane lakes of Titan, there's a whole universe of possibilities out there. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll be doing a video about the first human expedition to dive into a Martian underground lake. Remember, every time we learn something new about Mars or any other planet, we're not just satisfying our curiosity. We're taking one more step towards understanding our place in the cosmos. Whether it's finding water on Mars, discovering new exoplanet, or unlocking the mysteries of dark matter, every bit of knowledge brings us closer to answering those big questions. How did we get here? Are we alone? And what's next for humanity as we reach for the stars? So keep watching, keep wondering, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one to make the next big discovery.